So today I want to talk about to-do lists and why I no longer use them. Now, for anyone that knows me knows I love being organized. I love a list, I love a spreadsheet, especially if it's color coordinated. You've got me. I love, love, love being organized. And one of the things I used to be obsessed with, I'm embarrassed to admit it, is to-do lists. I used to get no greater buzz, especially when I was working as an employee, working for other people, than getting to my desk, sitting down, getting my pen out and making my list and ticking those things off the list. And I used to get such a kick when I would tick everything off a to-do list in any given day. Fast forward to about 4 years ago. Again, I'd made my list. I was working through it. I was ticking things off. I felt really good about myself. And then I got to the last thing on the list. I'd done it. I ticked it off. But that feeling of kind of elation didn't come. I actually sat there, looked at the list, and realized that a lot of the stuff on that list was just, to be perfectly frank, pointless shit that wasn't going to move me forward. There was only two things in a list of about 15 things. There were only two things on that list that were actually going to move me forward and have some kind of positive impact. And from that moment, I stopped making lists. Now, I figure out what I need to do, the things I need to do that are going to move me forward, and I put them directly in my calendar. If they are not in my calendar, they are not a priority. And that has been transformational for me, actually learning to differentiate between things that are just, are nice to get done or whatever, and things that actually are going to move you forward. And to give you an example, it would be things like sending proposals out to potential clients, sending out that all important invoice to make sure that it gets paid, getting contracts out there. And I know it might sound obvious, but this was something that was not obvious to me for a very long time. Like I said, I confused being efficient with being effective, and they are not the same thing. Unfortunately, I learnt my lesson. So I no longer make lists. I no longer have to-do lists. I have an awareness of what I need to do. But the most important things get put directly into my calendar. If they don't go into that calendar, then they're not a priority. So the thing I want you to take away from this video today is I'm not saying don't make lists. I'm not saying don't, abandon to-do lists. If they work for you, then great. But make sure that the things on your list are things that are going to move you forward. Do not put pointless shit on your lists. I spent many, many years doing that, and I dread to think how much time I wasted doing all this pointless stuff that didn't actually move the needle in any way. So yes, if you are going to use to-do lists, make sure you use them for things that are going to move you forward. That's it. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.